Where did Creole identity originate? Have you ever wondered how a unique identity like Creole came to be in Latin America? Let's take a closer look at its origins. Creole identity began during the colonial period, particularly in the 17th and 18th centuries. It emerged in Latin America and the Caribbean among individuals born in the colonies who had European ancestry. This included people of Spanish, Portuguese, French, and sometimes British or Dutch descent. What sets Creoles apart is that they were born in the Americas, distinguishing them from those born in Europe. Over time, this identity evolved to incorporate a mix of European, Indigenous American, and African cultural elements. This blend reflects the diverse populations and social dynamics of the colonies. Initially, the term Creole referred specifically to those of European descent born in the Americas. However, it later expanded to include individuals of mixed heritage, especially in regions like the Caribbean and Louisiana. This cultural mixing led to the development of unique customs, languages, and social structures that differentiated Creoles from both Europeans and indigenous peoples. In the context of social status, Creole identity became closely associated with power and privilege. Creoles often formed an elite class, trying to set themselves apart from European-born colonizers and indigenous populations. They created their own social norms, including variations in language, religious practices, mainly Catholicism, and artistic expressions. Economically, Creoles could be landowners, merchants, or artisans, but they often faced restrictions on holding the highest political offices, which were typically reserved for Europeans born in the mother countries. This social stratification highlighted the complexities of colonial society. As the 18th century progressed, Creoles began to assert their distinctiveness and political interests. This desire for autonomy played a significant role in the independence movements across Latin America. Creole identity was not just about ancestry. It was also about a cultural and political consciousness that sought a new social order separate from European colonial rule. In places like Louisiana, Creole identity featured a three-tiered social system. This included large landowners, a prosperous urban middle class, and a larger group of servants and enslaved individuals. Creoles of color, who were often educated and property owners, maintained their cultural traditions and social status. They sometimes challenged the racial and legal boundaries imposed by colonial authorities. From the perspective of Latin culture, Creole identity embodies a rich cultural fusion that arose from the interactions of European, African, and indigenous peoples in the Americas. It represents a unique cultural heritage that is neither entirely European nor indigenous but a new identity shaped by the historical realities of colonial Latin America. This identity has significantly influenced the social structures and cultural expressions of Latin American societies, impacting language, religion, art, and politics. Creole identity originated as a colonial-born identity of European descent that evolved through cultural mixing and social differentiation in Latin America and the Caribbean. It reflects the blending of diverse cultural traditions and the emergence of a distinct social group that has played a vital role in the history and culture of Latin America.